Alright guys, in the last few videos you've seen us working towards this project. We've been faced with people telling us that solar doesn't work for many years, even before we went off grid. And you know what? They're right. Solar doesn't work all the time. But it works very good most of the time. Kind of like this old truck. This truck does what we need it to do 90% of the time, but just because it has its pitfalls or something doesn't work on it once in a while, that doesn't mean we forego using this truck at all. Just like solar, we use solar and it takes care of 90% of our needs. And as you guys have seen over the last few years, we've had struggles. We have shortcomings. During the winter months, 2 or 3 months of the year, we don't have enough sunshine to keep us going. So we've been running a backup generator. We have to trudge through the snow. We have to fill that thing up with fuel. We have to plug it in. We have a lot of shortcomings with that system. It works, but it's complicated and not very user-friendly. So that leads us to today's project. We're going to install an AnkersolixAnker E10 hybrid off-grid system. This system that we're going to use today is a full hybrid system that can use not only like a generator, a gas fuel home backup generator, it could use solar to back it up. It could use your backup generator that you have at home. Or we could couple it with the smart generator from AnkersolixAnker and have a plug-and-play full system with no shortcomings. There's no buts in this system. There's always a but. And with the AnkersolixAnker E10, I feel like we've eliminated all of the butts. Alright guys, here's our prep site. We put in this 3-foot by 6-foot pad here. We added a new distribution box or breaker panel box here the other day so we can run different circuits. We're going to have our new pump house on a circuit. We're going to have a circuit to run our mini split that heats and cools the cabin. And we're going to have a whole cabin circuit. We have a sub panel in the house that runs all of our outlets in the home, the lights, stuff like that. We're going to, real quick, put a generator inlet box on here, something that would be fairly easy and inexpensive for you to have hired out. Get that set up, and we'll show you how to hook up this system real quick. Alright, now one thing you are going to need is a good teammate to help you move some of this equipment around. I got the muscle right here. So anyway, let's get rolling here today, guys. I hope you're excited about this as we are. This has been a long time coming. This whole system is going to be very automated and automatic. I'm glad that AnkersolixAnker created this system for everybody. It's going to streamline things for everybody in the future. And I think not only is it good for an off-grid application, but I think every home in the future is going to have a system like this to take care of things. Yes. Just like many years ago, TVs were uncommon in houses. Microwaves weren't in every home. I think every home's going to have a system like this someday. I hope it happens sooner rather than later. So anyway, enough yakking from me. Let's get rolling. Alright guys, the first step to installing the batteries and the inverter from AnkersolixAnker E10 is to use their ground mounting plate, which is this right here. So this floor mount is made of steel. It seems very strong. It has adjustable feet on it, so we can make sure it's level if our ground is not level. Say you're going to install it in your basement or garage and a utility room. You can level it out if the floor is graded.
It's got a little leveler on it, so you can see right on it that it's level. I like that.
Yeah, perfect. So no hiding whether our slab is level or not?
Right.
Was it level?
Almost. It's a little tiny bit this way.
Raise that corner leg over by you. You can just unscrew it just a little bit and reset the nut and it'll be nice and level. Alright guys, the AnkersolixAnker E10 is all UL listed, so it's nice and safe. I think it has a UL 9540 and the 9540A UL listings, so it's safe and compliant. This should be the top of the unit. We have no wires that connect these, no terminals to lock down. There's simply a port here so the next oncoming battery can sit on top of it and connect. That makes it NEMA 4 weather rated as well, so we don't have a bunch of exposed components. And we don't have to worry about moisture getting in there.
So each one of these batteries is how much, did you say?
6,144 watt hours.
Okay.
Each one of these battery modules hold over 1,000 watt hours more than our original solar system we ran on for the first 3 years. So we're going to nearly triple the capacity, and we're going to have triple the output capacity. 7,600 watts of standard output, and then when it's put in turbo mode, we can run 10,000 watts. So it can run your large house devices like your air conditioners, well pumps, refrigerators, electric water heaters, stuff like that. And it can do them all simultaneously, so it can handle that high LRA surge capacity when all those items turn on at the same time, coincidentally, or if you turn on your electric oven or stove at the same time the air conditioner kicks on. So we can have 10,000 watts on turbo mode. If you wanted or needed more power, say you get an electric vehicle or switching the whole house over to electric and you want to use solar and save some money, you can actually pair 3 of these together. And you can have up to 30,000 watt output with 3 units and have up to 90,000 watt hours of storage with batteries. 5 batteries per unit.
Holy
Look at that.
moly.
We like directions. Here's the bracket that goes on top of the last battery, mounts to the cabin or to the wall behind it. That way we don't have the unit tipping forward and falling over. So before we put the power module on, let's go get this bracket installed. Alright guys, so this goes on just like so. Then it has these channels in it, so you can put the screws in and move it to or from the wall and get it to reach the cabin very nicely. Imagine how nice it would have been to have this 7, 8 years ago when we started. You know how much less worry and heartache I would have gone through to have a unit exist like this, where I didn't have to worry about every connection, every fuse, every breaker, every amp, every little thing that could go wrong. This has it all figured out for us, and it has a smart generator with it, so it can just take care of itself automatically. This is what I imagined a unit like this 8 years ago. I'm glad it exists now and it's available to everybody. So let's slide this back to the cabin. So guys, along with mounting this to the wall so it's safe, we also have to reattach or reinstall the screws that connect right here where the connectors are at. That keeps the 2 batteries locked together. There we go. All right, Hulk, rip it off the wall.
I can't.
Wait. Pull it with your weight. So a little kid runs up there and grabs it. It doesn't tip over on him, right?
Right.
All right. All right, guys, so the power module or inverter has no storage capacity in it. It works with the battery modules, the batteries. So all we gotta do is flop this on top, screw it down, and then we gotta connect our couple cables and we're done. Look at right here. So we have one outlet that goes to the generator. We have a power switch. We have a Bluetooth switch. We have a PV on and off switch. And we have 2 MPPT charge controllers. The MPPT charge controllers in this can take up to 9,000 watts between the 2 of them of PV solar input. 30 volts all the way up to 450 volts. So this could work perfectly with our large solar array. We might trench one of our arrays over here to run just on the Anker. Another option I was talking to Jen about was putting up even more solar. Put more solar on top of the bedroom. The bedroom is nice and flat, faces pretty much straight up and to the east a little bit. So when the sun comes up, we get sun on that bedroom roof and our cabin roof for a large portion of the day. So it might be even more solar input. What do you think of that?
Let's see what you do.
Let's go throw this out there and check it out. Forward. There you go.
There we go.
Easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty slick too, eh?
Yeah.
Nice and low profile right against the cabin. You could put that on your home and it'd be barely even know it's there, right?
It's that eyesore.
Yeah. We made our pad a little bigger than we had to, but we got to put the generator on it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get that mounted, get it powering things up. All right, here's our power outlet. That goes to our generator inlet, but we need a cord. But let's go plug it in at least and show them how it works.
These are color-coded and they're different style plugs, so you don't have to worry about plugging in the wrong plugs.
So they just click in and lock automatically. Then you have to twist this to unlock it if you want to remove it. See it click in? Now we're good and safe. So this is a 50 amp, 240 volt outlet. This is a NEMA 1450. We can power, like I said, up to 7,600 watts out of this unit, standard output. If we put it in a turbo mode, we can go up to 10,000 watts. That's with one unit. If you have a household that has even more power, we can upgrade, put multiple units together, daisy chain them, and have lots of power. This system is going to be set up kind of like a backup generator system with the generator inlet to our breaker box there. The AnkersolixAnker E10 has a smart box you could use. You can integrate that into your inside main panel as well and use an interlocking system so you can use either the grid or off-grid in combination like a hybrid system. The other option is they have a 200 amp, I don't even know what it's called. It's a giant 200 amp main panel box that is all automatic, all run completely off the AnkersolixAnker E10. There's no manual switching of anything with your breaker box. Again, this, we're going to have to turn off the power, or if our power goes dead or something happens to our main system, we turn the main power off, then we plug this into our generator inlet box. So this is a little more manual, but once you're operating on this system in full and just using this system, it's fully automated. We can use the app from AnkersolixAnker. So once we have this all hooked up, we'll show you guys the app and we'll show you how we could control everything from anywhere. Here's our smart generator. AnkersolixAnker has this smart generator. It's a smart generator 5500. It could do all kinds of awesome things. All right, guys, here it is, the Smart Generator 5500. We can use it with AC as AC power. We have an AC 15 amp outlet, a TT30 outlet. It also hooks directly DC power with this port. It's also a tri-fuel generator. It can run on liquid propane, gasoline, or natural gas. So if you're in the city hooking up this system and you're using it coupled with solar and natural gas that comes from the company, you have lots of options. But we do have the options to put AC output as well, or like I said, with this system, the most efficient way to do it, DC to DC. Not many generators can do that, so that's pretty awesome. And it has some nice wheels on the back, so we just roll it right over to our spot. Alright guys, so just like any generator you buy at the store, we have to hook up the battery that's inside of it so it can remote start or electric start, and we have to put oil in it. Then we twist it, and it's got a locking nut. So we're hooked up, ready to go. So this side is locked into the generator. Has a nice little holding spot there. We can close the door. Very streamlined, clean look. I like it. All right, guys, so here on the left side of the power module, there is a tab that covers up the plug, the DC port for the generator. Pushing it in as we push the tab down, and it'll lock in. We're ready to go. Pretty clean, pretty nice, very streamlined, very easy to set up. 2 plugs and we're ready to go. We have this system set up and I'm really excited about it. I was thinking we should wait till tomorrow just in case the battery isn't full enough, because I don't have time to hook up solar. And I completely forgot that, you know, that's kind of the whole point of this system.
So you don't need solar.
I don't need to have solar if I don't have solar. So we could put some gas into the generator and then that could charge it up for us. So Jen's working on the app right now, doing a firmware update, and now we have the generator hooked up. I'm going to go get some fuel for this generator.
You want to try propane?
Cleaner. Here's our propane or natural gas port. Ta-da! Firmware is updated, guys. We hit the power button on the unit to turn it on. It's already plugged into the cabin through the generator inlet port. Turn the power on, the AC output. It surged up to 1.7, I think, 1700 watts. And now the cabin's running at 960 watts. And it's leveling out to 860. The battery's at 50%, like I said, from the factory. And we're running at 850 watts. We got solar input 0 because we don't have solar hooked up to it today. I'll probably hook it up tomorrow because it's already 6 o'clock. There we go. Is there still sun on the roof of the bedroom?
Yeah.
That might be a good place to put a little bit of solar. Yeah.
Semi-easy.
Or we could just dig a trench over to the other, to the main solar array and bring one of the 2 arrays over here and charge us with that. Solar during the day, we could store that power and then use it during peak hours. We could use our generator to run and charge this when we don't have sunshine. We could be a very independent, off-grid family, right? Mm-hmm. The battery discharging, where the cabin's drawing about 620 watts right now. We're recording this, so I'll put it in there for you guys. 620 watts. So everything's probably, the refrigerator surged, the well pump kicked on high, so that was what drew it up to, or drew 100 or 1,700 watts. Originally, I think it was. I kind of missed it because I was looking at you guys, and now it's all leveling out. So everything's just kind of getting in the groove here. Now let's try to hook up the generator, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think we'll run out of power tonight because we have 6,000 watt hours, 50%, 3,000. I think we'll be fine. But we want to run that generator because we don't have solar hooked up to it yet. So we want to run that generator and see if it kicks on like it should. So we have to find the smart generator. Look at all these awesome products that Anker has. Smart solar bank. Solar Everfrost. Anker has portable fridges and coolers and powered coolers. All these different power banks. Holy moly. Smart generator. That's where, there he is, right at the bottom. So the AnkersolixAnker Smart Generator 5500. The device has been reset. Long press the button for 7 seconds. Things are whipping here. I gotta put the mule away, make sure the windows are all closed. Give me a few minutes, I'll catch up with you guys. Save the bubble foil! My beloved bubble foil almost ended up at the neighbor's a mile away. Holy cannoli. Whoa. True example of what you don't want to be out working on your solar in, so I'm glad to be in here. Alright guys, so the Anker SOLIX E10 is going to run us for the night. I'll show you, I'll test a few more of the systems tomorrow. We'll turn on the air conditioner. It's supposed to be like 87 tomorrow, and we'll run that and make sure the whole cabin's running. We'll give you an example of what you can run on it. But we'll let that generator charge things up tonight, go from there. So I'll probably see you in the morning. Try to hook up some solar tomorrow too if the sun's shining. All right guys, so last night we got the generator running, all the firmware updates just in time for the little storm to come through. We did just fine, but we ran off of the Anker SOLIX E10 for the evening and all night. 8 o'clock this morning, the battery level was at 79%. Or no, yes, 79%. The generator ran for about 3 hours to get this from 50% up to 100%. Shut off at like 10, I think. And like I said, ran for those 10 hours, went down 20%. This is over 12,000 watt hours of storage, so we can up the size up to 5 batteries, so 30,000 on one unit, 90,000 watt hours with 3. So I think once we get solar hooked up to this today, we'll be golden. It should continue to charge this above the rate at which we consume power. The battery will get us for a few days, even if we don't get sun. So this is going to be a pretty epic system. I think this would work great for a ton of different people. At home or at an off-grid cabin, at a hunting camp, fishing camp, somewhere remote where you don't have availability to electricity, or you just don't want to hook up and have that electric bill. Because of that DC to DC charging, it's the most efficient way to do it. We don't have any losses from converting DC power to AC power just to convert it back to DC power for the batteries. You can use this generator as well for AC output, like for camping. You could use it to power the cabin directly with AC power with the outlets that are on the other side of it, plugged in right there by the DC port. So it's a very versatile unit. I really like it. It's basically the only system you would ever need, and now it's available. NEMA 4, weather rated, waterproof, dustproof, temperature proof. This thing can run down to -4 Fahrenheit, -20 Celsius, and all the way up to 55 Celsius, or like I think 130 degrees Fahrenheit. So this could sit outside and run. Doesn't have to be babied, doesn't have to be put in a bunker. I spent my entire last summer building a bunker. I spent a whole summer doing that. Jen and I set this up in just a few hours. A couple hours to build the pad, a few hours yesterday assembling everything, getting all the firmware updates, getting everything figured out, installing that generator inlet box. Less than a day. Less than a day, and we have a hybrid system that can run with battery power, generator power, or solar power. So all we got to do yet today, the sun's supposed to come out later this afternoon, get a little bit of solar hooked up to this bad boy, and I'll show you how that works too. right, guys, there we go. 1,200 watts of solar on the roof. We're going to mount it to the eaves so we don't have any holes in our roof, and we'll have another 1,200 watts of solar. I'm going to box it in on the sides too. Top and bottom are boxed in. Box it in on the sides. Hook it up to the AnkersolixAnker E10, and we're rocking and rolling. All right, guys, moment of truth. We got the array, the new array, 1,200 watts up on the roof to hook up to our AnkersolixAnker E10. These are running series, so we have 1,200 watts, 160 volts, and it's only 10 amps because they're running series. The AnkersolixAnker MPPT charge controllers will take, like I said, 30 volts all the way up to 450. So that's pretty awesome. Let's plug them in and see what kind of output we're getting. The sun came back out, so that's exciting. So we have the PV input for the first MPP charge controller. There's a on-off switch right here. So we have to turn that on before it will start charging. Let's do it. Whoop, there we go. Woohoo! I wasn't recording. Hold on. All right, guys, we just flipped the switch. For the PV input, I opened up the app here. And we now have a positive 550 watts coming into the cabin. 600, 550, 710, 740. So we're getting 400 watts into the battery charging, and we're taking 300-ish, give or take, to run the cabin. So that's about what our cabin always draws, 200 to 300 watts when it's running the refrigerator, lights, charging all of our computers and such.
It's kind of crazy.
And the indicator on the front, the light on the front is indicating that it's charging.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect setup. This is like what we needed from the start, but, you know, the technology wasn't there to be this easy to set up. It took a lot of knowledge, a lot of know-how, a lot of people to get a system set up like that. This is plug and play, more DIY friendly. We set this up, like I said, just the other day in just a few hours. Mm-hmm. And then I set up the solar today in just a couple hours. So not even that. Yeah. Doesn't get much better than this. I don't know what else you could do to make it better. I don't think there is anything. There's no buts. It's good, but, you know, there's no buts. So, pretty awesome. Yeah. So, we're going to run this for the day. We'll see how much solar we get in a day. It looks like it might clear up. We're going to go inside soon now that we have everything set up 100%. We'll kick on individual components for you and show you exactly how much draw we can get with the system. All right, guys, in true fashion, we're going to fast forward a couple days here. You guys know that when I test out a product and I show it to you, I want to make sure it works good. I've been using this thing for over a week now. This AnkersolixAnker E10 has treated us very good. We ran everything we could possibly run on this, and it didn't give it any trouble at all. The cabin in general draws about 200 or 300 watts all day long with chargers and lights and fans and stuff on. We kicked on every light in the cabin. It jumped up to about 500 watts. Then I had Jed turn on the coffee maker, and it jumped up to 1,300 watts. No problem. Or then we turned on the water pump, and it jumped up to about 1,800 watts. Then we turned on the mini split. We were at 2,400 watts. And then I even pulled out our air fryer and kicked that bad boy on, and we got up to about 36 or 3,800 watts, and it pulled it no problem. This system's designed to handle much larger loads than we have here at the cabin, but a full-size home or charging electric vehicles, large air conditioning units, large well pumps, we try to live simple here, but with this system, you don't have to worry about that. So we did this to show you guys that you could use a system like this. It's going to solve all your shortcomings by a lack of solar in the winter, or say we have a dark gray week, even in the summer where we don't have enough solar to carry us by.
It's really nice to have a smart generator like the AnkersolixAnker Smart Generator 5500 here to back us up, and all this storage capacity. If this system was around 8 years ago when we started doing the off-grid thing, this would have been where we started and probably where we finished. So we'd like to thank AnkersolixAnker for working with us, sponsoring this video, and supporting our channel. We'd really like it if you guys would check out this system. Click on those links below. You could take advantage now of the AnkersolixAnker E10 Prime Day deals. Going on now, June 10th through the 30th. Get the best prices of the year, and you could save up to $1,800 now. When you use our affiliate link and buy any order with a power module, keep it past the 30-day return window, you'll also get a bonus $100 gift card that'll hit your inbox. Buy now, and you'll also get 4 limited time perks. You get a 3-year extended warranty, a $999 value, so you get 8 total years of protection. You can also take advantage of 0% APR for 24 months, so you can pay over time with 0 interest. And you get a free gift. You can get a free battery module, power strip, or a metal pad, depending on your order details. And if you buy through our affiliate link, you receive a $100 gift card. Doesn't get much better than that. So guys, let me know if I left anything out in this video and you have any questions. Ask them below and I'll be happy to help you out. So thanks guys for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Best wishes.